molding is one of the most commonly used manufacturing process for the plastic component. So almost 70 to 80 percentage of all plastic components are made up of this injection molding process only, and it is used to manufacture thin walled plastic parts for wide variety of shapes and size. You can able to see from this images. So most of the parts are made up of this injection molding components, and also very interestingly our plastic chairs are made up of this injection molding process. And you can able to see this one, this is nothing but the lamp cover. So in the street lights you can able to see such kind of a component which is used to cover your LED light or tube light in the street lights. So mostly it will be a transparent one, and also it will be very thin, right? So such kind of a materials can be processed using this injection molding process. Coming to the principle, granular form of thermoplastic is heated in the oven to remove the moisture, then fed into the hopper of the injection molding machine. You can able to see this is the first process what we are going to see typically for the thermoplastic material. So before we have seen about the compression molding and transfer molding, that process are very suitable for thermoset plastics, but this is the process which is more suitable for the thermoplastic. So usually thermoplastic will be in the granular form. So it is preheated in the oven to remove the moisture, because it will be packed in some container. No? It will have some moisture. To remove that moisture, we will preheat using some oven. Then it is fed into the hopper. That means a channel like a structure, right? So again you will have a piston and cylinder arrangement. So usually it is called as a barrel. So this is the piston and cylinder arrangement. Usually it will called as a barrel. So the material will be transferred here, and this barrel is fitted with the heater, right? So you will heat the material. Once the moisture free granular is fed into this barrel, and it is melted, so to make the molten plastic material. So once the material become as a molten, it is injected to the mold cavity. This is the die. So it is injected to the mold cavity using the plunger, right? So it will cooled very quickly because we will have some cooling channels inside the dies. So it will be cooled. Then the final part is removed from the mold cavity, right? So you can able to see from this animations, so how the cycles is starting. So generally it is starting with the filling of a granular parts, then it is injected towards the mold cavity, and we are giving the pressure to get it to the mold cavity, and it is getting cooled, and the part is getting ejected. So this is the typical injection molding machine, where you can able to see the different parts of injection molding machine and how the dies are fixed. Here we are having two dies, one is fixed and another one is movable die. Right, in the fixed die only we will have the runner. So through the runner we will inject our molten material, and the plunger system is operated using the hydraulic unit. And usually you will have the heated bands or heating coil in the barrel, that is the arrangement of piston and cylinder. And also you will have a nozzle. So the nozzle is used to inject the molten material from this barrel to the mold cavity, and all other normal arrangements of plastic processing machines. So here also we will use either a 2-plate mold or 3-plate mold, what we have seen in the transfer molding process. If you are using the 2-plate mold, the runner system will be come along with your part. This is the part, right? So the runner system will become along with the part. After ejecting the part, we will remove this, right? So usually this is called as a cull. Okay. So if you use 3-plate molding, so the spur system, that means the runner system will be get separately, and the part we can able to get separately. Right? So either you can use a 2-plate molding or a 3-plate molding, as we have seen in the previous kind of a molding process. Coming back to the material, so almost every thermoplastic materials can be used in this injection molding process. Sorry, there is a small mistake. So it should be an injection molding process. Okay, almost any material can be any plastic material, that means thermoplastic material can be used in the injection molding process, starting from the ABS, acrylonitrile, butadiene, styrene, acetylene, acrylic, polycarbonate, polystyrene, polyethylene, and also you can able to see some of the engineering plastics like polypropylene, polystyrene, and polysulfonane, PVC, and nylon, polyimide. Almost every type of thermoplastics can be used in this injection molding, because about 70 to 80% of all the plastic components are made up of injection molding process only. Now coming to the molding sequence, right? So we shall discuss this in the step-by-step manner. So the very first step is the material granulars. The thermoplastics will be in the form of a granular. It is generally preheated in the oven, right? So it is made up of a hydrocarbons, so that it can be easily capture the atmospheric moisture, right? You know that all the plastics are made up of hydrocarbon, so it can be easily absorbs the atmospheric moisture. If the atmospheric moisture is there in the material, then the molding process won't be happen properly. So that before getting into this hopper, generally we will put into the oven to remove the moisture, as we do in the metal also. In the casting also we will preheat the material, no? Likewise, we will preheat the material in the oven. Then the preheated granulars will be fed into the hopper, right? So why you are using this hopper means to have the uniform flow, because this complete barrel is a heated one. So suppose uneven kind of a material flow happens in this barrel means, then the heating won't be happen properly, because so we have to pour the material very uniform manner, right? And the next step, the filled granular material will come to this barrel, so which is having the plunger, that means piston and cylinder. So the complete barrel is fixed with the heating coils. Okay, so it will be acted as a furnace, right? So inline furnace, it will be acted as an inline furnace whenever the granular material comes to this barrel. So due to this heat, right? So due to this heat, this granular will be converted into the molten material. Okay, you can able to see. So this will be happened using this screw kind of an arrangement, right? So generally we will rotate this screw, right? So what it will do means, it will make this granular to fall on the surface of this barrel, right? So whenever it is gradually fall onto the surface of the barrel, what it will happen, it will heat very gradually. That means the uniform heating of the material will be happen, and all granular material will be become into the molten state. So then what it will be happen means, so this due to this screwing action, the material will be moved forward, no, because we are giving some reciprocating action. So it is in the barrel kind of, that means a circular cross section. What it will do means, it will move forward this molten material, and it will be injected through the die using this nozzle, right? So usually this at the starting of the process, the die will be closed, right? So this molten material will be injected into the mold cavity and allowed to the cool, because it will be fixed with some cooling systems, so it will be allowed to cool. Once the process is over, the molten the die will be opened up, right? So the die will be open, and the required part will be ejected. So usually we will have the ejection system, that means the ejector pin, or else we can take manually, right? So most of the big components will don't have the ejector pin, because it will give some defects, so that we will remove that part manually from the die set. So final step, the same step will be repeated again and again to get the different number of components. So based on this process sequence itself, you can able to know this can be used for a mass productions, right? So n number of products can be made up of this plastic, this injection molding process.